let's talk about subtraction as opposed to addition. I think this is an important rule in life in general. At least this is what I've learned, that instead of adding in and piling on and attaining and hoarding and acquiring, which is what we're kind of trained to do in our lives, is just buy more, get more, do more, have more, be more. It's never enough. We can never be good enough. We can never be anything enough, right? Like never wealthy enough, never pretty enough, never successful enough, never strong enough. And so we're really trained that we never have enough. We actually have to unlearn that in order to really shift and heal and grow. This is what I believe. Because as you get older and wiser and you go through life, you have enough experiences, you have some hardships, you go through some trauma in your own life, you realize that less really is more, just across the board. You only need a few really good friends, right? We don't need 100 friends, most people. You only need really quality relationships. A few is way better than a bunch of superficial ones. You don't really need that much in your life. When you're younger, you think you want a big house, you want to have all these things, you want to have all the nicest cars and the most of everything and the nicest of everything. And then as you get older and maybe you get divorced or maybe you change your desires in life or priorities, you realize you don't need that much, or if you've ever gone traveling for any period of time, you realize, wow, I can live out of a suitcase pretty easily. It's actually kind of nice. I don't need 1,000 things to keep me happy. So that's the premise here, is healing is like that. Healing is, what can I take out in order to calm the body down, in order to give the body a chance to really start healing? That is the question. What can I take out to just calm things down? Now, again, we're trained to add in. So if we don't feel good, we're trained to take things, add things in, over-the-counter medications or prescription medications, or do a bunch of things, or take a bunch of supplements, or whatever. We'll try anything when we don't feel good, right? We're going to try anything to make us feel better, anything to take away the pain. Most people have been there. But what I've learned is less you take when you don't feel good, the better. So think about this whole journey for yourself in that way. It really doesn't matter what you're working on right now. Maybe it's just weight loss. Maybe it's just trying to resolve a few chronic symptoms that you don't want to deal with anymore. Whatever it is for you, think about what can you take out? What can you take out? And generally first, it starts with certain foods, because I can guarantee you, if you don't feel well, or if you have extra weight, or if you have any chronic symptoms or even intermittent symptoms, I promise you that's because there's things you're eating, there's things you're drinking, there's things you're doing that are causing these problems. So I'm going to help you decipher for yourself, what are these things that are causing me these problems? Now, one of the assignments for this section for week 1 is I want you to go into the community, and I want you to write down in the community as a post. First, introduce yourself if you haven't. Let us know what some of your goals are. And then tell everybody, what are some things you think you can take out that you don't need, that are not serving your healing process at all. They're not adding to your health. They're not adding to your longevity. They're not adding to how good you feel. So what are some of those things for yourself? They can be anything. And I can guarantee you there's several. I've spoken to a lot of people in my life who say, I don't know, I already eat great. I don't know why I have all these problems. I eat super clean. I eat super well. I eat super healthy. If I had $1 for every client that has told me that, and meanwhile, I'm looking at their, symptoms or what they're really wanting to work on, and they have like 5, 6, 10 symptoms or even diagnosis, and they're telling me they eat really clean, they eat really good, they eat really healthy. I've never met anybody who really eats clean, good, and healthy by my standards or by healing standards who has all those symptoms. Because if you were doing certain things consistently, you would not have those problems. And that's, I can promise you. So, but that's a beautiful thing. There's a solution. So I can guarantee you there's things you're eating, taking, drinking, doing every single day that are adding to your issues right now. And what I want you to do is think about, what are they? Just ask yourself, what are these things? Maybe just go into different categories. Okay, what are the food things I'm eating every day or at least several times a week that are not helping me? They're not healing me. They're not even healthy at all. And I know I shouldn't be eating them. I know they're really not good for me. What are some things you're drinking? Same questions, that aren't making me feel really good. They're not adding to my health. What are some things you're taking? Maybe there's a bunch of supplements you're taking and you're taking garbage supplements, because unfortunately, and I'm going to go into supplements, but supplements is just a huge category on its own, because most supplements are garbage. They're from China. Their raw materials are made in factories. You would be shocked to know what's really in most supplements. And by most, I mean 98% of the supplements on the shelves. So that's unfortunate, but true. So I can guarantee you, if you do take supplements on any regular basis, there's probably ingredients in your supplements that are not helping you at all. And even more likely, they're hurting you. They're not adding to your health. They're actually adding to your unhealth, dis-ease, imbalances. And that's pretty wild to think about, right? We're trained that medication isn't great, so we'll take supplements. Supplements are way better. But believe it or not, it's just two sides of the same coin. Most supplement companies are owned by the pharmaceutical companies, or it's a whole nother topic. So I actually researched supplement ingredients, raw materials, manufacturing practices, and supplement company owners, and interviewed supplement company owners for many years for my former websites, and when I was really just learning and educating myself and other people on the topic of supplements, because I was always under the impression that supplements were great. If it's good for you, it's good for you. Vitamin C, vitamin D, all these things. It couldn't be further from the truth. You would be shocked to know what's really in supplements. And also those IV drip bags that everybody does now, they think that are real trendy. Most of those IV drip bags are filled with raw materials from China. And it's funny because the people who administer these IV drips, they actually don't even know where the raw materials in those IV drip bags are coming from. So if you ask them, hey, where's the vitamin C from? Where's the glutathione from? Where's the NAD from? They're generally not going to be able to tell you the actual ingredients in those raw materials, where they're sourced from, etc. So I just encourage you to use a lot of caution when it comes to supplements, because they can be super unhealthy and toxic, dangerous, and the best case scenario, just not good for you. So I am not a huge fan of most supplements. I didn't say all, because there's exceptions. There are things I would recommend, but if I personally won't take it, I'm not going to recommend it. And that's how I've always been with everything. And because I'm a minimalist, and more so now than ever before, I really realize you just need so little to heal. You just need to be consistent. You need to be able to do things consistently and keep moving forward even when you think things aren't working. And that's really the name of the game to healing. So yeah, I just wanted to share that about supplements, about taking things out and not thinking you need to add in and just pile things into the equation. You would be shocked at how good you start to feel just by taking certain things out, okay? Just by taking certain food items out that are not healthy, probably deep down. Before I even teach you, what's really healthy and what isn't, I can tell you for certainty that you're pretty intuitive in your own right, that most likely what isn't good for you. And start thinking about what's in the fridge that isn't good for you, what's in your pantry that isn't good for you, what's in the cupboards that isn't good for you, what you're drinking, those protein shakes, the supplements in your cabinet. Just start thinking about those things and what can you actually start taking out in order to feel better. Because I'm going to tell you what you need to take out, but I want you to first start thinking about it on your own because you're smart enough to know. And I'm also going to encourage you to just keep the motto going, less is more. You don't need to add in things to fix things very often. You just need to take things out to fix things. And it's just fascinating what can happen when the body has a chance to really just calm down and not have to deal with all this extra garbage that's coming in. And you would be surprised at just how by doing that, your body starts to feel better. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this little lesson. And on to the next one.